Thank you for joining us. Well, last week, the big media fanfare because a mini golf course was officially inaugurated at the corner of Papineau and Laurier right here in Montreal. Now, what we found out, though, is that in 2021, the land was bought by the city of Montreal, and the goal was to build social housing. So what happened? What happened with a city-owned project that was meant to fight the housing crisis, but now is a mini golf course? So to get some insights and to try to understand what's going on, happy to be joined by Laurence Parent, borough councillor in the Delorimier district of the Plateau Mont Royal borough. Laurence Parent, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So let me start with the basic facts and tell me if I'm right. In 2021, the city of Montreal uses its right of preemption, which is basically the right the city has to buy land that's up for sale, and bought it in 2021 with the goal of building a 45-unit affordable housing complex. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened between that, the acquisition, the stated goal of building affordable housing, and how did we get to having to see a mini golf course open on that land? Why did the affordable housing units didn't get built?
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, it's important to remember that in this location, it was a gas station. Mm-hmm. So there was already a building on that land. Mm-hmm. So the first step after buying using the right to of a preemption, as you said, was to have a project to demolish the land and to decontaminate it.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. So that takes some time. So this project that you are referring to is like a fictional project that you need in order to start the process of demolishing and then decontaminating.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt. I don't understand. Why do you say the 45-unit project was fictional?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because, the city of Montreal is not building buildings. The responsibility of the city of Montreal is to acquire a field.
Land?
Land. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Land, to be able then to have a project that needs funding from the provincial and the federal government.
Okay, I understand. So to be clear, so you bought the land, it was a gas station, you got it decontaminated and ready for development. But yes, I follow you. Yes, it's the private sector that ultimately has to develop it, not the city.
Well, it's not the private sector necessarily. It can be a social organization.
A co-op.
Yes, we call them technical resource group that help with that, non-profit cooperatives. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So why? So yes, I know Valérie Plante and others in the Plante administration have said, it's not necessarily for profit that can build housing. There's co-ops, there's other ways of getting affordable housing built. So ultimately, my question becomes, yes, I agreed that you had to get the land decontaminated to get it ready for development, but since 2021, why is it that the city was not able to find any type of solution to get housing built on that land?
We used to have a project that was called Axélogie with the provincial government, and I don't remember exactly, was it in 2021 that this very important funding for social housing just stopped. This program is no longer available.
Yeah, that's correct. That was the provincial program to help cities and towns with social housing, and the Legault government cut that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that didn't help.
Of course. I agree.
It's happening in many places in the city, and maybe I can also just to give an idea to how much time that can take. Just this week we still had Suncor. That was a company that was, the owner of the place, was on the land again to make some tests to see if the contamination was successful.
Okay.
So the deal is not even totally completed. We still need that final result to make sure that the decommissionation was completely successful, and then that it would be safe.
Okay,
I can housing on the land.
I can fact check that because I was environment minister. I know what you're talking about. You're right.
Yeah.
You cannot have contaminated land under a housing project, so you have to make sure the decontamination actually worked before you can go ahead and build.
Exactly.
But there's yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So now we're very ready. Well, actually, I'm saying we are hopeful that the result will come back and that everything has been done.
But at this point, do you have anybody showing real interest, either co-ops, nonprofits, for-profits? Is anybody in line to develop this site?
To my knowledge, no. Right now, we haven't had any meeting. I'm not aware of that. But we have been talking a lot about this since a few days.
Yeah.
It's in the heart of the city. It's heart in Plateau Mont Royal.
It is.
It's very well located.
Yeah.
But for us, at some point, in 2022, we needed to make a decision. It's sad, but we knew that it would not happen overnight. That would take some time. So we made that decision that do we want to leave that place, empty, or do we want to do something about it? We're in a very dense neighborhood. It's not everyone that have a backyard. So we're like, okay, we'll decide to do a project that is not there to stay. We really want, obviously, housing, and we'll do everything in our power to make that happen. And it's, a lot of things are happening right now. We are really in a housing crisis. So the plant administration is really working hard. The mayor of our borough, Luc Rabouin, who is now the president of the executive committee, is also very, very engaged in that terrible housing crisis. And the good thing, maybe you're asking, well, you're spending money on a mini golf, and then it might, be a waste of money, because if we're lucky enough, we'll have a project very soon. Well, that mini golf course can be dismantled and can be moved to somewhere else.
You can understand that the visuals of this it's what communications experts would call a cognitive dissonance. I mean, you're talking about a housing crisis. You bought the land, and the solution after 3 years is putting a mini golf course. Are we paying taxpayer money to fund this golf course?
Yes, it was built with public money. It's not just a golf course. There's picnic tables. There's urban agriculture plantation, a project with students from the Cégep de Victoriaville. They have a program in Montreal in the Plateau. So it's another public place, and people also need place, to go and breathe. So I think it's right now, it's the best thing we could do with that piece of land, instead of leaving it empty. And it gives us occasion to talk about it, to talk about this place, that this land very soon should be available to build a housing project, and this is our priority.
Do let us know when you find a development project.
Yes, I will.
All right. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. That was Laurence Parent, borough councillor in the Delorimier district of the Plateau Mont Royal borough.